The first time this weekend, I felt really in tune with my culture, with who I am as an individual. It makes me who I am as an individual. For the longest time, I treated my French side as perhaps something more of a little side note, a cliff note that I'd add in texture, whatever, when I'm making an application. But I went to a French camp this last weekend, which was why I didn't post. And for the first time, I felt truly in tuned, in love even, with this francophone side that I have, that culturally I am. Now, what I want to mention, what I want to talk about today is discovering this and exploring this, I suppose, new sentiment that I've had, because I'm also Latin American. My father is Venezuelan, but I don't even explore that culture either. The only culture I have, maybe, is that of a young Catholic boy in Canada, but that's not much of a culture that I've inherited, really. That's more so just something that I've discovered as I've grown older. I suppose things I could add to my culture is, who my friends are, many of them are more conservative and quite a few are also liberal too. So I suppose having that contradiction in my inner circle is part of my culture too. But none of that is hereditary, really. I didn't inherit any of those ideas that I hold today from my parents. I suppose I have some tenuous inheritance from my older brother, who's the one that I suppose first sowed the seeds of philosophy into my heart. He was the first person in my life to say, to really give me the idea that philosophy could be interesting, that exploring ideas was not only a good thing to do, not only, I suppose some sort of moral responsibility, but also even a cool thing to do, you know. He was the person that first told me about Nietzsche and Aristotle and Marcus Aurelius and Plato and Socrates and all the above, right? So I don't even know where to approach this, because I'm not even really that francophone culturally. I suppose for starters, I could speak more French. I go to an all French school, so I could try doing something with that, right? I could refuse to speak English, maybe, right? I could speak to in French with all my friends. I could read more French books. I should do that. I have a copy of the Penguins' French philosophy. I was actually reading that today. Wait, let me be right back. Pause. So this is Paul Valéry's Les Pas. Tes pas, enfant de mon silence, saintement lentement placé vers le lit de ma vigilance, procédé muet et glacé. Personne pure, ombre divine, dit qu'ils sont doux, tes pas retenus. Tous les dons que je devine viennent à moi sur ces pas nus. Si de tes lèvres avancées tu prépares pour la passer à l'habitant de mes pensées, la nourriture d'un baiser. Ne hâte pas cet acte tendre douceur d'être et ne n'être pas, car j'ai vécu de vous attendre, et mon corps n'était pas que vos pas. So again, in English this time, your footsteps, the children of my silence, with slow and saintly pace, proceed mute and frozen towards the bed of my wakefulness. Pure being, divine shadow, how soft are your discreet steps, all the gifts I can imagine come to me on those naked feet. If with your advancing lips you are preparing to appease the inhabitant of my thoughts with the substance of a kiss, do not hasten that tender act, sweet peace of being and not being, for I have lived in expectation of you, and my heartbeat was your footsteps alone. Now, I suppose that even an English speaking exclusively person could identify that my French is significantly lacking compared to my English. And I, of course, have quite a thick Anglophone accent when I speak French. So I suppose I could definitely try to help that. I could speak more Chouad, which is the dialect of Quebecians. It contains a lot more swears and it's very more familial compared to most other French dialects. And it also has a lot more Anglicisms in it. And I can also listen to some French songs, and this is part of the reason why I began to identify myself more as a francophone. That, you know, the people that I'd been surrounding myself with, and the friends that I'd made at the camp, they were very good at these, I suppose, coureurs de bois, traditional French Quebecian songs, where I can't even pronounce most of the words that are it properly, and especially not saying it. So I also want to try singing in French. I also want to learn more about my culture. You got your own little instruments. The spoons, the wooden spoons. Those are pretty nice. So I'd like to learn those. I doubt that they're particularly expensive. And probably by the pace of my words, you can tell that I'm quite excited about this. I'm excited to learn more about my French side, and I'll talk to my mom, and my Native American side. I'm not very Native American, as you might be able to tell, but I still have an eighth. My grandfather was Native, or my great-grandfather was fully Native, so I'd like to learn that. I don't even know which tribe that my people originate from. So I'm gonna learn about that, and I also want to pick up some lessons in Spanish. I'll try to learn that to make my father proud, and to make myself proud of myself, right? And to be more in tune with that. And well, I suppose that's it. Thanks for watching.